I've been cutting myself off lately in half, so I made sure to move it this time. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining me today, for joining all of us. I appreciate you sitting with me. Thank you to everybody online. It's nice to see you guys as well, or you all as well. Let me get my notebook. For this seminar, thinking of transitioning into warmth, thinking of spring and just what this time of year at least teaches me. I was thinking about the Han, that block that I struck at the beginning. If you get a chance to look at it, here, I'll share a picture of it on mine for a second. And as you go out today, you can see it just hanging in the back hallway by the door out there. But it's what we strike every time before meditation. Right before service, we strike the Kansho bell, big bell out there. Before meditation, you strike the Han. And it's something that in my Zen training, we strike it at the monastery to signify different times of the day. It's a way to communicate with each other without using a lot of words. But it also has a really great invitation. You'll see there's calligraphy on it. It's nice to see this Han has obviously been used for a long time. Each one is different. You can see how long it's been used by how worn out it is in the middle, because you hit soft, 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 hard, 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 soft, 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 soft. So there's kind of like a little mountain road of previous training built into every one, which is really beautiful to think about, especially if you get to strike it. And if you want to learn how, I would love to teach you, even if you just want to see after this. But the quote on it says, let me get this right. May I respectfully remind you, great is the matter of birth and death. All is important, quickly passing. Be awake each moment. Don't waste this life. So that's one translation of the quote on the Han, on every Han. Most Hans, I should say. And in thinking of Equinox, Ohigan. Ohigan is the name of the holiday, and it means to cross to the other shore. And whether you're a Buddhist or not, whether you take the Jodo Shinshu approach or not, thinking of crossing to the other shore, of attaining enlightenment, of being born in the Pure Land, there's often the idea that it's separate from where we are right now, that birth and death are separate, that time is finite, that all of these things are really separate mechanisms. But what the teachings teach us, and what my teachers have taught me, or my understanding currently, is that everything's happening right now is not just a way to ground ourselves. It's a way to tap into the reality that there is no separation between the things that we draw lines in most times. If we think of birth and death, this holiday, religiously or spiritually, is about dying in this world and being born into the Pure Land or nirvana, enlightenment. But it's also about recognizing the fact that that's right now, right? We're not so much finding a new place as we're letting go of the old things. So the teaching there for me is to, how do I realize the joy that is in front of me? What do I need to do to make it so? If there's a relationship that I have that is tumultuous or a lot of conflict, how do I need to shift that to let it have ease? What am I holding on to in my life that is not helping me heal? And how do I find those things? And I find by thinking of that quote of the matter of birth and death being important, the matter of it. In Zen quotes, the literal meaning sometimes means something, but usually it's more about what do you feel with each word. And for me, the word here is matter, right? Matter is what we care about, it's why, but it's also the physical beings of us. The matter of birth and death is our bodies. The matter of birth and death is the world. It is the Buddha. It is all one thing. And if we get the chance to say how great this is, whatever this conflict is, this connection, this way of expressing my breath, of expressing my emotions, I find it easier to approach the difficult things or to make space for them. And in thinking of not wasting this life, waste is a tricky word because it gets tied up in productivity, it gets tied up in a lot of ways that we shame ourselves. But if I were to try to look at that without shame, without some other lens of what I should do on it, wasting to me would be missing it, not being there. Or more than that, would be not having that chance to really at least attempt to live within alignment with my own true values or my own true self. And finding that self is so hard. You know, it takes time. It takes so long. I don't know if we do or when we do, but the whole point of this like impermanence and this matter of birth and death is that dying is being born and being born is dying. In order for something to come to be, something has to change into it. And in order for that thing to leave, it changes into something, right? Even our grief, even our pain, even our struggles, these are all things that will certainly die and transform into something else. Grief might transform into more grief, but it's still different, right? If we lose somebody, 1 year passes, 2 year passes, 3 year passes, we still feel it, but there's something different. Even if it's just as deep, maybe something else has grown on. Maybe it's teaching us how to let go of something over here, right? We don't have to think of it as like a, kind of toxic positivity slant where it's, oh, always see the good. But for me, I think it's a reminder to always see the whole. What is the matter of life and death to you? What is what you would dive wholeheartedly into the moment for? What kind of love do you find at the end of that? And how do you cultivate that in each area of your life? What kind of state of being are you in when you feel that type of love or compassion? How do you cultivate that into the tricky, hard times and areas? I think for me, that's kind of where I'm at for spring. Just really trying to think of, as things come alive around us, to know that I wasn't dead all winter, even if it felt like it, or even if I feel so alive in a couple of weeks when the sun comes back for real. That time was precious, no matter how hard, and it taught me something, and it brought me things, and things left me. And so as I move into this new shift, whatever that looks like for me, how do I honor everything that I've done and everything that is to come by sitting exactly right now at the convergence of all of that, right? Everything that is to come and everything that's come before us is dependent on exactly right now. And so if right now is a moment of compassion with friends, I feel confident in what's to come. And I feel confident in the worth of the struggles that came before because of what the experience of being here is showing me. And so in my right nows, I try to see how could it be this, or where do I need to go? What do I need? Depends on your needs in the moment, what's happening. But those are a little bit of my springtime thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody online and in person. I love mind body seminars. They're always such a nice way to ground. And hopefully we get to add in, or really I get to add in a little bit of my like daily practice and stretch everybody, hopefully, so we all get to play in different ways, which is really fun for me. We'll do some check outs, check in, out, either way. But folks online and folks in person, nobody feel pressured. We're going to do this kind of open. I'm going to switch the volume real quick, but I'll give folks online a second. If you want to come off mute or type in the chat, you can say hi. You can come in person, and I'll flip you so you guys can see everybody.